I would say the OP one is a game changer. No, I'd say we could talk maybe about maybe like the musicians we're very grateful for. Oh, good. Did they tell you that we're going to do it?
You're just going to do it?
Yeah, just right over there. Yeah.
So it's totally done. The whole album.
Record is totally done.
Mixed and mastered.
Finished.
And I feel like it's our first actual finished project that we are, not that you're ever fully happy with anything, but that I feel like
we're honing in on what we're trying to do.
Yeah. It feels like what we were trying to accomplish for the first time, because oftentimes we were limited on budget and limited on time, or we would do a record in like 3 days.
For all our records in the past that we did, the writing process and the recording process was often the same thing. And so for me, as we're writing the song, I record a piano track that is kind of uncertain and like, oh, we're not sure what this is going to be, and that piano track becomes the final thing. So when we reissued a bunch of these songs, these are songs that we've now played as a band for 3 years.
About half of them are like reissues, but when we reissued them, I rewrote lyrics to a lot that just felt like the songs had kind of graduated to a new spot. Thank you. So a song like Does Your Heart Break has new lyrics, even Breathe. We redid pretty much everything on everything, where I redid every single vocal if we've recorded a song before, rewrote a lot of lyrics. We added brass this record, we added new drums, but then also writing this, we felt like we were able to write from a place that just felt more like us.
Yeah.
By that I mean like even the title track, Brother, or a song like Make Us One, which are both new tunes. When you hear a song like Brother, I feel like I can show my brother-in-law, who's a Buddhist, and I can show him Brother, and he totally gets it. It says, when I look into the face of my enemy, I see my brother.
Yeah.
And there's a truth in that goes beyond just the barriers or walls within my own tradition, which would be Christianity. I mean, for one of the songs, Make Us One, you can hear that song and totally feel like you're hearing like the idea of like John 17, which is like Jesus praying, make them one. And then at the same time, it was inspired by a thought from Neil deGrasse Tyson, where he talked about the universe being from one single thing. One of the things that I love about the album is that it's not so exclusive, but it's more integral. Yeah. So it invites people into a theme, which the theme is reconciliation. A lot from the very beginning of the record to the very end of the record. It seems like there's this theme of how I view the other, and then when I view the other, do I respect the other? Do I try to convince the others of my ways, or do I try to see the world maybe through their lens? And so that's the theme of the record, is one of how do we view the other? How do we treat them?
Most of our records prior to this were primarily acoustic. Now that we're getting more production capabilities, it's been fun to experiment with programming, beat production, and also editing strings and editing acoustic elements in such a way that they sound sampled. Now that I've gotten to this point where I can make a whole record by myself and play everything, I realize now more than ever that I need my amazing friends and all of these talented people around us to help us make the music. So this album was by far the most collaborative album we've ever done.
And it felt like we were building as a band more than just building as just individuals with ideas.
Yeah. I guess most of these songs are songs that go beyond any specific moment and any specific group of people, and can hopefully reach a larger group, I hope.
It's so easy within the world of Christianity to to be able to like look at people and just write them off because they don't believe or think the exact same way that you think.
Yeah.
And so for us, there's something about being curious with everyone of like, who are these people and what is their story? And for some people, they're going to hear something and they're going to relate to, they're going to have a picture in their mind, and someone else is going to hear the music and have a totally different picture in their mind. But that's the thing about art that we hope within our own music. It lets people be curious and dive into questions of why and how we view the world and how we view people, and not writing people off, but how we show love to them.
Doubt is something that we don't have to be afraid of, but it's something that we can embrace, because if we're able to doubt our own beliefs, it gives us the humility to consider somebody else's beliefs or someone else's worldview.
Who would have a problem with forgiveness? If you have a problem with forgiveness, then maybe like we can talk about what we view as the truth of forgiveness. And obviously we've grown up in this story, this narrative of a God who forgives, and because the God who forgives us and who God is out of love, like now we shall treat others with forgiveness. But there are a lot of people, especially if they've had a terrible experience with God, or they, you know, through their own conclusions have come to not have faith. That doesn't mean that forgiveness is any less important and any less beautiful. And so for us, those practices that we have from our tradition then lead us to new truths and new beauties, which then can hopefully make art that is inspired by the Christian thought and narrative, and yet is not so held down by it in the sense of like, this is what, when someone hears this, has to think. It's more of, here's a concept, here's an idea, take it as it is, but this is the concept or idea that's bigger than me, it's bigger than John. And then we give this concept or idea that I feel like can transcend just even the specific tradition that we come from. The thing that like we want to hand our children is a faith that is at least not so based on emotions and not so based on a thought of like, if you disagree, there's something wrong. Those themes of forgiveness and reconciliation, and those themes, for us, those inspire us to be better human beings, which is why we make liturgical music.
Thank you. Generally, music is classified as Christian. Lyrically, has a specific purpose. And, you know, often when we're writing that kind of music, it's like, what are you specifically trying to say? What specifically is this theologically? You put it down on a whiteboard and everything has to line up, everything has to represent the right thing, you have to say the right things, and what line do you cross, or, you know, there's, it's a really literal form of art making. And, oh yeah, thank you. And to me, the most inspiring stuff about faith is the mysterious stuff, is the moments that I'm in awe of the great mystery of existence, of the divine, of the transcendent. I feel music relates to that so well, but Christian music often, in being so specific all the time, can lose the wonder, and I hope that we can make things that are open, and open, rather than giving you an answer, it opens you up to a greater question. Hopefully.
Our hope for this record is that obviously we hope that people buy it, and that we hope that our fans who've supported us in the past, we hope that they enjoy this, and even if they think, oh, I've heard a song like this before, it's, a lot of them are rewritten and everything is added new stuff, so we hope that they continue to support it and buy it, and we hope that they enjoy the new music and that they get that sense of wonder, and hopefully begin to have some questions from it of how they view the other, or how they encounter the divine or the mysterious.